Morning, everyone. It is a little later than I had hoped to get started today, but I'm here and I'm starting. So pattern focus is where we're going to go to find this week's patterns. I'm going to start right here. AlAin. It's a grid shape pattern. That's cool. Looks like it's going to be fairly simple to do. Scroll down here so I can get the whole thing nice and big so we can see it. Zoom in. Okay, so first part of the shape is going to be this curvy V right to the middle, right there. So just start in the corner, come down to the middle, and here to the middle. Second part of this shape is going to be this arch, but you don't draw this part where it shows this dotted line. So you're just going to draw this part and this part. If you want to draw it in pencil and then only ink that, that is perfectly acceptable. You can do that. And then a straight line into the corner like that. And that's it. 3 steps. The thing that makes it interesting is the different ways you can put it into a grid. So this one, they're going all going like one direction and then turn it around and going the other direction. So this one is quote unquote right side up. This one here, this is upside down, right side up. Okay, so you can alternate and that will make a different look. This one, she's turned it, this is Ina's drawing, but she's turned it the 4 different ways. So, you know, this way, down, across, this way. So depending on how you turn it, it may look different. So I think that's the thing we should do is I'm going to draw it out in maybe at least 2, maybe 3, I think maybe 3 sections with 3 different ways to draw it and see how that goes. Let's get myself a piece of paper here. That one, move this aside, turn on my light so you guys watch your eyes, close them. It's always a challenge to get proper lighting. That is always a challenge. Not quite done with my studio yet, but it's getting there and it will have lots of good light, which is good. I'm excited about that. Hopefully I won't have to use this light anymore, although this light really works well. So, but I may not need it for videoing. Pencil. Pencil is what I'm looking for. I'm going to make myself a border, mostly because I just don't like going up next to the edge. I like having a little place where I can sign my name and write the name of the pattern. I want to have 3 distinct areas where I can do this pattern in 3 different ways. I want to do the pattern all going one direction, all alternating, and then going for the 4 different ways. So I'm actually thinking I might want to put it on a bigger piece of paper. I've got some bigger ones in here. Let me do it on a bigger piece. I've changed my mind. Okay. This is one of my coffee dyed pages. And all I did to coffee dye my pages, somebody asked me for a video on how I coffee dyed my pages. That would be really boring, to be honest with you, because all I did was cut up my paper to whatever size I wanted. It's just plain old cardstock. It's nothing fancy. I laid it all out on a baking tray. It's kind of like a cookie sheet, except for it's got a little bit of a lip to it, so it's more of the baking tray. Laid them all out on there. Made myself some coffee. Actually, my husband made some coffee, I think, and I just used the leftovers. But anyway, made a little bit of coffee, threw it in there on top of the paper, and just let it dry. it took like 2 days. I actually stuck it because we haven't been cooking in the oven. It's been too darned hot to cook in the oven. So we've been using the barbecue outside. So I just stuck the pan into the oven off. Didn't turn on the oven. But it was a nice safe place for me to put this pan so it wouldn't get knocked over. Nobody would dump it out. Nobody would throw it away. Yeah. And so that's what I did. How do I want to do this? Do I want to do them diagonally? No. You know, I think I'm just going to make like a sampler and just do simple sections. Why not? So in this first section, I'm going to go ahead and what do I want to do for my border? And being as it's on the brown paper, I think I'm going to actually draw with my brown pen. This one, I don't know why Micron doesn't put color names on their pens, but they don't. So this one is a PN number 22. It's got this kind of lighter brown end to it, but the ink actually comes out sort of a burgundy-ish color. It's a reddish brown, but I like it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then on this one, I'm going to make it this size. Just trying to decide how I want to divide up my tile. That one I'm just going to do this way. And I'm going to do this pattern all going the same direction. So, simple, curvy V, like that. Oop. And then we're going to make this curve. Like I said, if you want to practice doing this shape with pencil first, like that, you can. But then only ink this part, like that. Okay? Can you see that? I'm going to do it without the pencil on here. Simply like that. And then make a line into the corner. It doesn't look right. Why doesn't it look right? Oh! Okay, well, I'm going to do this one this way. I didn't make my curve curvy enough. This has to go way around like that. Okay. I did not notice that I was not curvy enough with my curve. And I'm a little low. But that's okay. You know, this is a learning experience. This is how we all learn how to draw this pattern. We're going to learn it together. And, yeah. But see, in order to make this sort of keyhole shape, it actually probably should have, the arch should be up further. We'll do that. I'll do that on the next row that I draw. But see, that didn't make a keyhole shape because I didn't have enough of a curve to that line. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Except for the one at the beginning that's not quite right. Let's see. How can I fix that? You know how I can fix that? I can do this. And I can do an embellishment by doing this. See, there's always a way to quote unquote fix it without erasing it, without saying, oh, it's ruined. Now I've got an embellishment that will change the look of this pattern just a little bit. But I can embrace that mistake that I'd made over here by just doing this. Why not? So you guys know that my son had been in that automobile accident. He gets his car back tomorrow. That will be good. He got a notification from the insurance company that it should be ready tomorrow. So that was actually fixed faster than they said. They said it would probably be a month to 6 weeks, and it's really only been about 3 weeks, I guess. Maybe just a little longer, but not bad. But it hasn't been our month for vehicles. We had another vehicle that used to be my father-in-law's before he passed away, and we were letting some friends borrow it because they couldn't afford the repairs on. Anyway, their vehicle needed some repair. So we've been letting them borrow that car because it's just been sitting in front of our house, not really being used. But it belonged to my father-in-law. My husband didn't really want to get rid of it, but we really didn't need it either. But none of his siblings wanted it, and so he said, if nobody else wants it, I'll take Dad's car, and, who knows what we're going to do with it. But, yeah, so our friends were rear-ended this last week. So we've been dealing, a couple of days ago, so we've been dealing with that, and the insurance company, because it's such an old car, it's a 19-year-old car, really not worth a whole lot. My husband looked up the Blue Book value, and it's, even in the best condition, which it wasn't, it was really less than $3,000 Blue Book value. So my friend was, our friends were fine. It was just, basically it was just a fender bender. They were rear-ended, but it was on surface streets, and nobody was going really that fast, but it rumpled the rear corner, which twisted the trunk and mangled the rear quarter panel and the bumper, and the repairs are going to be more than the car's worth. So, so they're going to total it. It's just sad because, my husband really, like I said, we didn't really want the car in particular. I mean, it's a nice car and all, but we each have our own vehicles. We didn't need another vehicle, but, sentimental value. And guys seem to be more sentimental about cars than ladies are, for some reason. Is that about right? I want to try to make them pretty square. I'm not measuring or anything, I'm just going by eyeball. That's not square. I'm going to end up with a partial one, which is okay. So on this one, I think I'm going to do this one like the sample one, and do one row going one way, one row going the other. We'll see. So I'm going to do one row going this way. Like this. So anyway, we've been dealing with that. My friend feels awful that he was driving and that the car is damaged. It wasn't his fault. There was a disabled vehicle in the lane in front of him, and other cars were kind of swerving around it. He had no place to swerve to, so he stopped like he should. The guy behind him was not keeping a safe distance and did not have time to stop and tried to swerve and just didn't quite miss him. Caught him on the corner of the bumper. So that was sad. So my husband went last night, and picked up any personal effects we might have had in the vehicle. And so today we're dealing with the last of paperwork and stuff for getting that taken care of. And then the insurance company will send a tow truck to come take the car away. I'm sure they'll part it out because, you know, the whole front end of the car is fine. It's just that one rear quarter panel. So I'm sure that they will, as they salvage it, they'll take it to some kind of scrap yard that will pull it all apart, pick apart, or someplace. We'll take it, and they'll be able to salvage parts off of it, which would be good. Kind of like being an organ donor, right? This is a little better than I did the first time. See, that's what happens when you take a little bit of practice. And since I don't practice when I do these patterns, I just do them just straight out. You get what you get. Then you see all my learning curve mistakes. I actually kind of like this dark. It looks cool. Rather medieval, I think. Yeah. Excuse me just one moment. Send. Okay. I had to reply to that. That had to do with the insurance. So hubby wanted to know some stuff. Told him I would get back to him in just a minute. I'm almost done. Okay, so one more thought process here. I'm going to make this even smaller, I think. Not quite, didn't quite measure that right, but that's all right. It's fine. Even smaller. And then this one, I think I want to turn it. So I want to do the first one this way, and then I'll turn my page. And then I'll turn my page. And I'll turn my page. And then I want to do it like this, I think. I scooched over one. Did you notice that? So then this one would be this way. That's weird. I should have done them like this, where they all come into a corner. Okay, let's try that. I'm not quite happy with this, so let's try this. That instead. Okay. So that's every other one. So this one will be this way. Just trying to follow my own pattern here. Then this one will be this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, and this way. Like that. Okay. And you won't see all of that, but alrighty, now this shape. My paper smells like coffee. Imagine that. Alright, I'm going to do a Tell It Like It Is card. What talent do you wish you had? Did I show it to you? What talent do you wish you had? Well, I enjoy the talents that I do have. I wish I could... I wish I had musical talent. I don't. Not even close. I even sometimes have difficulty just clapping hands to the rhythm. I'm not... that's just not really me. Some of these are not going the way I had hoped. It's kind of tough doing these little ones. And I find it easiest to do it coming at me like this, so... You really need to make that really curvy. I didn't make it really curvy on some of these, so they're a little more, I don't know, they're not quite the right shape. I need to go this way. But you know what? It's all good. Don't all have to be perfect. We're all just trying to figure out what I would see on this part, that last bit. Okay. Now, this is a little too busy for me, but I really like the way this looks, and I actually really like the way this looks. This is too small and too busy for me, personally. But I think I'm going to try to do something to... Maybe I'll just do some lines in there. To indicate that shape. I'm not even turning my tile, so all my lines will go the same direction, but my little shapes are going different directions. Now what? Now my watch is telling me I've been sitting here too long. Has it really been that long? Oh yeah, it has been 30 minutes. Wow. Okay, this is just taking longer than I had hoped. Okay. That's alright. Sometimes Your drawing just takes however long your drawing is going to take, you know. This will give me the look of maybe having it colored in without actually spending the time to do a lot of coloring. You just do lines that will do that, give you that. Your eye will fill that in, and your eye will say, oh, that's a darkly colored spot. That's in shadow. And even though you see the stripes, you actually see it as a dark part too. Like it's filled in. Which I think is really cool the way your eye works like that. Ooh. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little shading, but I think I'm going to shade with a like a terracotta color. AlAin. How do I want it to live? Do I want it to live like that? Like that? I'll go this way. Okay, where's my pencils? There they are. I want this sort of called Rouge Tuscan Red. Rouge Tuscan. I'm just going to do that for my shading. And this one is also going to go here, I think. So this one's more like a sampler. When I do more than one grid style on a page, it's kind of like a sampler. This one needs something, but I don't know what. So I think I'm going to just do right along the grid lines. Not being super precise, just needs a little something. There. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Not sure if it needs a little bit of blending out. If I can, I'm not sure I can. Where's my blending? When I blend, I use just a little bit of Vaseline. I know you can use odorless mineral spirits, but I'm super sensitive to chemicals, and I just don't really want to try it, to be honest. But this works really well. Can you see how it doesn't really blend really a lot, but it does really make it the color come out. It blends a little, but look at what it does to the color. And I'm just barely using any. That's starting to dry up a little, so I may get some more. So all I'm doing in this is just like a little lip therapy tub. Happens to be cocoa butter flavored, but you can use the plain. All I'm doing is just dipping just the end. Can't even hardly see it. See, there's almost nothing on there. And then I actually wipe it off. That's too much. You want to not even really see it, but it's enough to get the wax in the pencil to move. Odorless mineral spirits would work better. I agree. It totally would work better. I'm really, really cautious about chemicals like that, so I'm just not going to even try. Needs a little bit more. Guess I'll leave my lid off till I'm done here. Could I be more neat and precise about my blending? Absolutely I could. But the point of my drawing is not a professional piece of art. Now if I was doing this as a commission piece or something bigger that I was going to hang on my wall, I would take more time. You can absolutely take more time. I'm doing a demonstration video. So the point of this is not a curated, finished piece of work that's gonna, hang in a gallery somewhere or something. It's just a tiny bit more. It's just a rough idea to give you guys some ideas of what you can do in your own art. There we go. Let's see, that really did do a number 2, making that look better. And I think I actually want a little bit of it around the edge, like a border. Because I like that on that one edge. So we're going to do that. Why not? As long as I'm here. Well, let's finish it off. That's better. Absolutely. That needed that. I think I'm done. So, like I said, it's just a sampler. Shows you what you can do. It gives you an idea. You play with your stuff. Doesn't have to be done on a tile. It can just be done in your sketchbook. And you can play with different ways of putting a grid. It's following the grid journey. Turn your grid pieces different directions and you will get different looks, and you can find which ones speak to you and which ones don't. Like this one, didn't really speak to me. It's kind of busy, but once I got into here where I can see this sort of windmill shape right here. See the sort of windmill shape right there? I actually like that shape. So if I'd done more of this and less of this, where I don't get a shape, I would find that more appealing. Just, you know, learning. It's just learning, right? So next time I do it, I may do it differently. I do like this, what happened here, that dark, in order to quote unquote fix my problem. I like that. Well, anyway, you guys have a great day. I need to get back to my husband. He asked me a question and I need to text him or email him or whatever it is he needed me to do. Told him I'd be a few minutes and I will be back. See you. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make this world a better place. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.